Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, the Physio Sapien, and in today's video, we are going to learn about kinematic chains. So what is a kinematic chain? It is a series of rigid segments linked together by a series of pin-centered joints. So let's take an example of the upper limb. So we have our distal phalanx, middle phalanx, your proximal phalanx, your metacarpals, carpals, radius ulna, your humerus, and your shoulder blade. Okay, that is scapula. So all these are your segments which are joined together by the various joints. That these are the distal IP joint, proximal IP joint, metacarpophalangeal joint, your wrist joint, elbow joint, shoulder joint. All these are the pin centered joints which join the various segments in the body, and these together form a chain. Okay, and these chains are of two types. These are the closed kinematic chain and open kinematic chain, depending on if the distal segment is stabilized on a surface or it is moving. So now talking about the open chain kinematics. So in this, the distal segment is free to move. Okay, it is an isolated joint movement. It is uniplanar in motion. It is considered more dangerous than the closed chain kinematics because of reduced static stabilization of the joints. It helps in promoting the functional activity. Examples are elbow flexion and knee extension. So basically, whenever you do any movement in which the distal segment is moving, for example, in wrist flexion, so when the distal segment is moving, it is your open kinematic chain. During your elbow flexion, when the distal segment, that is the radius ulna and the hand, when it is moving, while your proximal segment, that is your humerus, it is stable. In such conditions, you say that it is the open kinematic chain. Again, in lower limb, when you do knee extension while you are sitting on a table, that is your open kinematic chain. It helps in isolating a single muscle. So while your elbow flexion is done, it focuses mainly on the flexors of the elbow joint. These are the biceps brachii, brachioradialis, and the brachialis muscle. Rest all the muscles, rest all the joints are in relaxed position at that time, which is not the case in your closed kinematic chain, which we will be discussing next. So in this condition, only a single joint is moved, only a single group of muscles is used, and it is considered more dangerous than the closed kinematic chain because there is lesser static stabilization. So the next is closed chain kinematics. In this, the distal segment is fixed on a surface. The movement of one joint produces a predictable movement of all the other joints in the same kinematic chain. Okay, therefore it is considered more functional than the open chain kinetics, as there is a movement of various joints of the same chain. Next, it increases the joint compressive forces. The compressive forces on the joint is increased, which increases the stability of the joint, and therefore it is more safer than the open chain kinetics. So for example, as you can see in squat, while going down, there is ankle dorsiflexion, there is knee flexion, there is hip flexion. So there is triple flexion of your lower limb, that is a kinematic chain. Okay, and while going up, there is triple extension of your lower limb. Similarly, while doing push-up, there is extension of your wrist joint, there is flexion of your elbow joint, there is extension at your shoulder joint. Okay, so there is a predictable movement of the other joints in the same kinematic chain while performing a closed chain kinematic movement. Okay, and it is considered more safer and more functional than your open kinematic chain movements. So now there is another term called mixed kinematic chain. So what is it? So let's take an example, your leg press. In that condition, your hip is fixed as well as your feet are fixed. So what kinematic chain is it? So during the pushing movement, during the extension, there is closed kinematic chain. But during your terminal extension, there is extension of your knees. In such condition, it is an open kinematic chain. So it is called your mixed kinematic chain. You can again make a combination of movements and work on the stability as well as the mobility of different joints at once and create a stable as well as mobile exercise for your athletes. So this was all about kinematic chains, its definition, the open kinematic chain and the closed kinematic chain. If you want a differentiation table for the open kinematic chain and closed kinematic chain, which is an important question in your theory exam, please DM kinematic chain in my Instagram. The link for the same is available in the description box. Please make sure to like and comment on this video and share it with all your physio friends. This is Ronak Chandak signing off.